The thing to know about Legopheth is they're fast, tolerant to cold too. So try another angle of attack. These will come in handy. Use them if you get into trouble. He hands you a few sealed bottles. But if I'm being honest, you may not even need them. You handled those orgs well enough, and you look like you could hold your own against the Legophith too. You got 2 more places to...
Huh, that's what I get for asking directions in the middle of nowhere.
Dwarf paces with his head down and arms crossed, only stopping to hurl glances at the building behind him. His face is smeared dark with grime, and soot falls from his beard as he mumbles to himself. Work my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what? He kicks at a mound of dirty snow. Start with nothing, leave with less. He extends his arms out. Who are you yelling at? At idiots, that's who. And I'm as much to blame for believing them. The dwarf wrinkles his nose, nostrils flaring like a horse. Well, good riddance. You've never settled here in the first place. Some things you mean to leave behind. Come to find out, you packed them anyway. But I'm not leaving until I recover what's mine. They can't deny me. Not after this. Those sweet-tongued priests took my heirlooms. Bury the memory of my past, they said. Now I don't even have that. What priests? Only ones here. They occupied the temple some time ago, picking at desperate folks like vultures. Those priests, Andra's dogs, said the goddess would forgive. That some things are best left to be forgotten. He nods towards the nearby temple. Their leader, Lafta, I believed her words. Another one of them, a gift bearer, took my medallion. He closes his stocky hand into a fist. And now they won't tell me where it is. What else did you give the priests? The dwarf casts a meaningful look at you. He quickly turns his head away and nods. You understand its value, my armor, a set finer than I've ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I've had traded it for the medallion, but fool that I was, I gave them both. Maybe there's something I can do. Not the kind of talk that I've grown used to these last few years, I admit. The priests may pretend otherwise, but folks here tend to look only after themselves. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it's a sacred duty to cast the offerings to the goddess in some place where they'll be forgotten. Better to find where they drop them, I think. What's Lefta's role in all this? She leads that group of crows. They took over the temple as folks started to leave, came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery here, they say. Let's see. Tell me about the medallion you want to recover. It belonged to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her. To me, the dwarf cast his gaze down. She was the last of my family, at least that still acted like family to me. I don't expect luck to grace me now, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. Andra welcomes you into her embrace. We're here to ease the pain of your past, ready to take your burdens. Within smiles, she nods. If you let the goddess help with your hardships, of course. I want to ask you about Okrun's heirloom. The dwarf already asked. We gave him the counsel he needed. Slight irritation sharpens her tone. She seems to catch herself modulating her voice back to a pleasant timbre. And naturally, we'll do what we can for you too. Ask what you will. Okrun wants his medallion back. She brings her hands together and nods. Ah, Okrun. How often we let the shadow of our past become a burden, even to others. That medallion, it weighs on Okrun's mind. You're kind to help, but what he really needs is to cast away those memories. Isn't that for him to decide? He did. He understood the solace that the goddess can give to those like him. It was explained to him that many have second thoughts, but one does not withdraw something offered to a goddess. In time, the memories fade, and they come to see the wisdom of the original pledge. His belongings, his past, now rest in Andra's realm to be forgotten so that the wounds of the soul may heal. This is the will of the goddess. But suppose Okrun has moved on. Tell me where his heirloom is. He hasn't, and that's the point. Besides, you have no authority here. I wonder what the village's leader would have to say about that. You think we don't act in accordance with the local customs? The village knows we're here to help the unfortunate, like Okrun. They trust us. I can keep asking for a long time. Flash of color invades the priestess' pale skin. I see there is no dissuading you, and you seem a person of will. Very well. Okrun's heirloom was taken by Ixtilli, chosen gift bearer among us, to be cast away as an offering to Andra. Only he knows where. She pauses and looks at you intently. You could ask him yourself, but he's on a trek through the mountains of Durgan's Battery. If you run into Ixtilli, tell him he has urgent duties to attend to here. Tell me about your gift bearer. Ixtilli Has business near Durgan's Battery. Those mountains are dangerous. If you insist on carrying out this request of Akron's, then that's where I'd search for answers. It's hard to believe that only the gift bearer knows where Andra's offerings are cast away. Is it? Our goddess frees us from our earthly burdens. It's best if only one of us knows where they are taken, least we all end up suffering under their weight. Sounds to me like they're thieves, conning people out of their possessions. What else do you have to say? Tell me about Andra. Andra is the goddess of redemption. Deep like an ocean and gentle as a mother, she's here to relieve her children of their darkest burdens. We came here to aid the villagers, to heal the wounds of the past that fester in their souls. I thought Andra was the goddess of loss and mourning, not redemption. The priestess crosses her arms and shifts her weight. Common notion. These people are scammers, they're not priests. That's obvious. Others may believe so, but the goddess mysteries are profound. Her true power lies in redeeming your loss and regret. I want to know about the gift bearers. Gift bearers do Andra's most valued work. They carry the material burdens of unfortunate souls into her embrace so that the goddess may help them forget. Yeah, right. They carry them to other places and sell them. Quetzalcoatl. Nice name. I've got nothing for you. Speak what's left if you must. Conveniently has a lot of military swordsmen and shield people. Check fishery. Oh, what's this? As you step outside, the heavy wooden door of the temple slams shut behind you. You hear someone barring it from the other side. It sounds like the priests have engaged in an agitated conversation. You get the sense that they're discussing you, but you're also certain that the door is too thick to eavesdrop through. Although there may be other places nearby where you stand a better chance. I knew it. These guys are scumbags. The wooden shutters of the temple window close tight, muffle a set of voices coming from within the building. You can't quite make sense of the murmur, but cracking a shutter open would likely help. A rusty iron latch holds the window shutters closed. With care, you should be able to unfasten it without being noticed. Unfasten the latch. Oops. You carefully begin to lift the latch from its metal hook. Halfway there, the rusted iron resists with a screech. You freeze, listening to the voices in hopes the priest didn't hear. Their conversation continues uninterrupted. Pour some oil on the latch. You grab the latch and apply just the right amount of oil, nudging the metal until its rust gives way without a sound. Carefully, you pull the window shutters open enough to let the voices flow through. You hear a man speaking, his tone agitated. You do that, Hope the mountains will do it. What if his sentence cuts as if the man was speaking to all sides of the room. Pose, he tells them instead. What then? You recognize, laughed his voice, responding. Why would he? And with all those dangers near the battery, our gift bearer won't delay. I expect that. The man interrupts her. You always expect. Look, where's that taking us? A dying village, orgs at the walls. Extiles not back yet, and now I have to do his pa. His voice drops and ceases, muffling what he has to say. After a moment, laughter replies, Do you think I wanted this? That I could have known in advance? A pause ensues. Its tension grows until the priestess' voice cuts it in half. We can't wait for him. We must fish out the last batch quickly. After that, we'll decide. The man responds in a broken voice, barely audible. You only distinguish the last words. In that Russellwood pond, I'll go. Their exchange seems to end. Cautiously, you step away from the window of Andra's temple.
Fresh fish, freshly caught! Fresh fish, freshly caught! Effigy's eyes! It looked at me!
Hmm?
Ah!
What? What was that? A dozen pairs of globular eyes stare up piteously from the discarded heads of the day's catch. Awash in a pungent sea of fins and innards. Shift through the fish scraps. Your hand runs up against something round and fleshy, the size of a melon. It is smooth and scaleless, and parts seem to be covered in hair. A discarded head, perhaps, but not that of a fish. Pull out the head. Or should we poke it? Poke the head? Pull out the head. One hand on either side of the head, you begin to lift it out of the barrel, only to have it leap from your grasp as the head's owner springs over the lip of the barrel in an eruption of fish chunks that rain down over the market stall. The man who leapt from the barrel stands facing you, nearly naked, save for a loincloth and drizzled in fish viscera. He is covered head to toe in scars, tears, and punctures, and the thorny imprints of lashings. Most are faded like old memories. Despite that, the condition of the man's body is remarkable. The drooping skin at his flanks and elbows, the only evidence of his advanced age. His face is placid, but the rest of him appears prepared for anything.
You must forgive, Zawa. I was not expecting you.
What are you doing in that barrel?
Resting my eyes, I thought. Waiting for the Malkachoa to bring me insight. It would seem I dozed. A good thing my master was not alive to see it. Are you real? Of course. I meant no offense. But I find it is best to ask when Malkachoa is involved.
Akchoa?
A small white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap in these lands. It can reveal the true nature of many things.
You said you had a master.
A teacher, not an owner. Zawa is a free man. Well, as free as any of us.
I still don't understand why you were in that barrel.
I was freeing myself from vanity.
Did he say sanity or vanity?
Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish?
Hard to argue with that.
I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far. Yes, quite pleased.
Those scars are from battle.
From battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies. These were struck against fear. These against pleasure. These against hatred. Those down there against greed and doubt. And these were for vanity.
You made those scars?
I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable.
And you have achieved this?
I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone.
Your wounds must have caused you to suffer greatly.
Of course, I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements. Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us, their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel.
You don't seem like you're from around here.
I was visiting a monastery not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left. He carried a call for aid. Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zawa is no longer young, but in combat he is still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go.
That hired me as well.
I would not say I am hired. I seek no wage, and I promise no result. I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from walking it. And this fortress, this Durgan's battery, its people are gone. Zawa would know why.
If you seek the White Forge as well, I could use the help of an experienced warrior.
If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together in this moment because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zawa to argue? I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so.
Let's be on our way. Cool. New party member. He's a warrior. A monk. Not a warrior. We'll check him out later. We have a ranger, a druid, and a monk. Actually, let's dismiss him. We'll take the monk. I don't really like that character all that much. I'd have to read how his actual spells work a little bit better. Understand what he's doing. He's not very hands-on. Let's see. Try that.
Explode me!
What do you have? You're gonna be probably melee, I'm guessing. You can be aggressive monk. It's high in might and constitution. Survival and athletics. Unarmed damage is plus 12. Does he only fight with his fists? He gets plus 12 damage for unarmed. He has light armor.
As you say. Ah, now we can all free ourselves from vanity.
Feels like it's hardly worth putting the huts back up.
Better than standing out here shivering.
Ah, the adventurer who saved the village. So good of you to visit my humble wagon. I am Duran. Why Duran? How's business? Poor, like this place, not much coin to be made trading in furs and fish. I came to the White March because I assumed there would be no competition. I have none, because there's nothing to compete over out here. Would you like to trade? If you're not making any money out here, why'd you stay? I was rather vocal about my inevitable success with my friends and family. If I give up and return with little more than I left, then no, it won't be like that. I'm not gonna give up yet. See what you have for sale. See what else. This. That's good. I don't think we need any of this stuff. Just gonna keep it. I don't know why. It's ingredients, consumables. And see what she sells. Let's check again. You sell camping supplies. Good. So you'll be who I go to get those. I'm gonna need another one of those. Some more lock picks. Grappling hook. So we'll buy those. Another monk outfit. Gauntlets of accuracy. Ultimate hat of alluring perfection. What's that? Make you beautiful? I think this is all complete. Quick save. And I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you for anybody that watched. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next. I'll see you guys later.